Oh, Sunday.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, the Dread Pirate Space Buns. Secret message time. To Comrade Potato. I have tortilla blanket. Alright, tacky jokes over. Now, for a fun time. Today's topic of vlogging is my autoimmune disease or disorder. They call it both. I don't know. I am not the doctor. I am the simple victim of the vampire cult that takes my blood because I have this. And they constantly want to be like, we want to make sure it's clean and your thyroid's not freaking out. But at the same time, that's why I'm going to talk about this, is because it's not. And that's not and silly as I make it out to be. It turned out to be quite a big deal. And like, I didn't know that it could make you feel that bad. Like that bad. So, today we're going to talk about it. And, of course, we'll talk more about why I want to talk about it, because that's always important. Because I don't like, I like to a certain extent leaving people to, like, make up their own minds about things. But also, you should know why I'm doing this. This makes a certain amount of sense to me. The point. Graves' disease. What I have. It is an autoimmune disease of the thyroid. There's this little pretty, they say it looks like a butterfly thing down here. Pretty much it controls your metabolism and your weight. That's what we all really know about this. We hear that regularly. Oh, you have a fast metabolism, you have a hyperthyroid, you got a slow metabolism, you got a hypothyroid, the whole thing. We all hear this all the time. Now, thyroid problems are actually pretty freaking common, as I have come to learn. And Graves' disease in and of itself is actually like really, really common, and extraordinarily common in women under 40. Who knew? So if you're a woman and you feel some of the things that I'm about to talk about, it's a good time to talk to your doctor and just tell them. There are honestly some of the symptoms that you feel here that A, I thought it was crazy, B, didn't think was really worth talking to my doctor about. And it turned out when I actually, as I mentioned in my previous ADHD video, got my thyroid tested, found out my thyroid was going nutter butters, and then went and talked to my other doctor. She was like, hey, you're feeling that way? You should tell us. You should really tell us. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. No. So, obviously, this is a rather important subject to me because I've not only dealt with it, it hit me like a freight train out of nowhere. Delayed my plans, delayed a lot of my life, and really caused some craziness. So, this is pretty important because I thought I was fine. I thought everything was good. I thought everything was, we're getting by. And wow, that changed quick. We'll get back to that. Let's talk about some symptoms, because like I said, these symptoms are crazy. So of course, like I talked about, it can make your ADHD worse. It can make things like anxiety worse. Turns out that has a lot to do with the chemicals it sends around, and I was like, oh, that makes a ton of sense, but it's a lot to explain. This one also hit me hard, and actually, this problem's gone in and out for me for years, where sometimes, right now, my hands, they're perfect. They're still, well, I mean, of course, other than, my random twitchiness, which never helps the situation. But when I went in to see the doctor about my Graves' disease, she put a piece of paper on my hand, and it was like, all over the place. And I was like, I'm shaking that bad? You'll shake. And you might not even know you shake. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so obviously, weight loss. Weight loss comes with this. We already talked about this. Insomnia, or you can sleep too much. I was the guilty one of sleeping way, way too much. Some other fun things, it can mess with your heart rate. I think I mentioned before that my heart rate started going crazy, like 130 beats a minute. Yeah, they helped me. They put me on a great medication that ended up taking it down. And the good news is, for anybody that's worried and is like, I have to be on this forever, you may not. Depending on what your situation is, you may not, because I was able to come back off. And I regularly sit now around 65 to 70, which is, I'm hyper. This is normal. And so they can help you. Tell them about the weird things you're feeling. I felt like I was constantly having heart attacks at a point, and I was like, you guys, I'm going insane. I think these would be a little more obvious, but they may not be to everyone. Hair loss and brittle nails also go along with Graves' disease. Really, problems of the thyroid and some autoimmune diseases really cause these things. But the reasons to go talk to your doctor. If you notice that all of a sudden, and I keep good track of my nails. I keep good care of them. If y'all notice, in every one of my videos, my nails are always like different. I do them once to twice a week, maybe more, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We are not talking about my nails. Kind of. The point is, because I do my nails so much, I take such good care of them, I know what I'm putting on them. I was like, yep, it's not okay that my nails are breaking. I take tremendously good care of my hair. And I started losing hair, and I was like, no. And I felt crazy for a while until it got to the point where I got to somebody that knew to look in the right place, and there we were. We had an answer, and I wasn't crazy. Felt really cool. Still, it's an uphill battle. Now, there were two other ones that were mind-blowing, that were symptoms of freaking Graves' disease, y'all. So first off, muscle weakness. Out of nowhere, my legs would just decide, like, we're weak, we can no longer hold you. Goodbye. My arm would be like, you're no longer functioning. Why can't I lift my arm? It just suddenly feels like the muscles are so tired they won't move. That's a crazy weird symptom. Now the last one, that again, I wouldn't have ever told anyone if they hadn't been like, just tell us even the weird stuff that's going on. And I told her the weird stuff, and she was like, no, you have real symptoms. You have real symptoms going on. Hold on. And I was like, whoa, I'm not crazy. The weirdest one yet. Joint pain. And you're like, joint pain? And I'm like, yes. Freaking joint pain. Like, get this. You wake up one morning. Let's call it a Wednesday. You wake up Wednesday and you're like, oh, my elbow hurts. What the heck did I do to my elbow? Going to sleep Wednesday, your elbow's still freaking just murdering you. And you're like, I just hope it's better in the morning. You wake up Thursday and your knee hurts. Your elbow, you can move it around like nothing ever happened to it. But your left knee on the other side of your body feels like you need a cement wall because you thought it sounded like a good idea last night. And you're pretty sure you weren't drunk last night. So what? That was a crazy weird thing to have somebody be like, no, that's a real symptom. That's something you could be feeling. It was like, you mean I'm not crazy? I'm not losing the plot. This is good. This is good stuff. So, yeah. All in, this is kind of a sharing of that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanted to share because I do share a lot on my social medias, and some people have honestly asked, and I've had to have this conversation kind of a couple of times, but I share a lot about vitiligo. This is one of those things, it's an autoimmune disease, and I know everybody's like, oh, vitiligo, Michael Jackson. Yes, you are all very funny. I get the joke. Ha 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 ha. I'm white and I'm not Michael Jackson. And still, I got some. It's an autoimmune disease, and there's not really much they can do. It's not significantly uncomfortable. Technically, it means that the pigment in the cells died or stopped functioning. But it can appear as a rash. So this is where I get into my other thing. Oh man, probably like 5 years ago, y'all. This was a long time ago. Got this rash. It was around a stressful time in my life. A lot was going on. Just lost somebody I really cared about. It broke me as a human being, and this rash appears, spreading down my neck, down my chest, down my arms, everywhere. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's a stress rash. It went away after about a year. But it left me my little friends. And, I mean, occasional scars, things like that, won't recolor to my natural skin color. They'll stay white. I think I might have a little bit of a rash developing on my nose, but it goes in and out, and that's kind of the way this goes. And sometimes the rash completely goes away and nothing ever happens and you never know. It's a lot of fun. But I'm talking about this because A, the two autoimmune diseases, disorders, whatever you want to call them, do go hand in hand. Also, they're two things you can't necessarily see very easily, but that can cause major, major struggles to your life. It can make you so freaking tired when it's at its hardest. There were points where I wasn't sure how I was making it from one place in my house to another simply because I was so exhausted and my muscles were acting so bizarre, I couldn't understand how I was even moving. It made my brain feel sluggish. It made everything feel difficult, just even existing. It was a crazy, weird struggle. And that's the thing, even on top of that, is it was weird. It was so weird. The symptoms, like the things it made me feel, even trying to express that to another person. And so I really, really want to put this out there, that if you're feeling something or you're not feeling okay, it really is important to go let someone that you trust know. Whatever level of healthcare professional that may be. But it's really important for your future, for your well-being, for your health, for everything. Don't just say, well, the pain passed. Well, the rash passed. But it could have been a really good indicator that I potentially had other things. And that could have had them testing my blood more regularly, much sooner. And therefore, my Graves' disease wouldn't have gotten as out of control as it did by the time I actually got to them, which, like I said, it pushed off life goals. It made me wait until November to actually start my YouTube channel and not like March like I had hoped, because y'all, I was so sick. I didn't know what I was going to do with myself at a point. So please, this video is not for pity. I don't care about pity. I'm perfectly happy with the way I look. Shame me, say shit. I don't care. I didn't mean to say that, but we're going with it. But I'm serious. I'm sharing this because I share a lot of things on my social media, on all of my various pages about these things, and I want people to know that I'm very serious in my compassion for them, and my compassion for anybody else that has anything that might even remotely share something about this, even a feeling. Because you know what? Life is tough enough, and when you get this stuff sprinkled on top, it doesn't taste like sugar. It tastes like salt. So, please, remember to be kind. Remember, not all struggles you can see. And for the love of goodness, friends, please, please remember to take care of yourselves, your health, your mind, all of you. Because just like me, you may never know when something's gone really, really actually wrong. And it could be a lot closer to that make or break point than you know it, babe. So sometimes, well, forget sometimes, all the time, it's important to take care of yourself. Tomorrow's the gift. It's Dread Pirate Space Buns.